Yeah, definitely. There's the aura of mystery now, which I like.
It's also nice how they're in the opposite corners, in the top right and the top left.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it doesn't feel like we're on teams. It's like we each have one mysterious person aligned with us. It's anybody's game.
And nobody's using their real name, so like we're all.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah,
just like in case like my friends happen to watch this. But
yeah, so we should do monikers then. You know, I can see LOD down there.
Oh, you're what up?
And I'm Jug Dish.
And then we have Invisible Boys.
I'm a XX SSJ69 Vegeta.
Oh, nice. I definitely had a Pokemon-oriented screen name for one of my first AIM names. I'm pretty sure it was like Pika Pal.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Or other like that. I don't know that I ever had. Oh, I think I probably had a DBZ-related name as well at some point. I just don't recall off the.
I don't think. I think at the time that I was doing
passwords.
Yeah, I think I was doing Final Fantasy ones at that time. I remember I had one that was Zidane FF9X like 04 because that's the year I was graduating high school, which I was not in yet. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually had a Final Fantasy IX screen name also. It was like Flaming Amarant something.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's the deep cut. That's like, all right, the true fans will get this one. All the true fans that you're chatting with on AIM.
Oh man, what a time to be alive! Like, we were so prepared for text messaging because of AIM. I feel like I'm like way more of a, I don't know, charming person when it comes to text messaging than I am with like actual people's faces, and I think that's totally the reason. Just remember like spitting game.
No, it's like you see the divide of people even like 5 years older than us. The way that they write in text messages, they drop all of like the leading signs that they know what they're doing. There's emojis, people use LOL, but they write like full sentences and they won't be broken up by like you're talking where you're like, you won't say like in one message and send another one. Definitely like a normal person our age would.
Definitely. Also, I think our age, we have the ability to use punctuation.
I was gonna say punctuation
to like really drive a point home.
Know when and when not to deploy punctuation.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? There's like some people 5 years younger than us who are gonna like hear this and just be like, these old idiots.
Oh yeah. I'm pretty used to that by now. I feel like that.
Yeah, I know. I just hit it.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that transition like happened to me within like the last like 2 years, and I feel like I'm finally adjusting to it.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm still like coming to terms with the fact that I'm 30.
Yeah.
It's been interesting.
29. I'm almost there, but I feel like
I'm 29, man.
Well, the water's fine. Yeah.
That's good. I'm also extremely sick right now, but I just felt like I needed to have a beer for this, which is like so foolish.
Yeah, you do. You do. You know, we can suffer the consequences later, but you got to do it for the fans back home.
How'd you feel about Dragonball Jug? I didn't really consult you with the name of that. I just kind of like.
No, it's perfect. Yeah. This is actually a good segue for us to talk about what exactly we're going to do here.
Yeah, I actually am not even quite sure. So basically what we want to do here is just have you, from as little information as possible, piece together the entirety of Dragon Ball.
Okay, all right. Yeah, basically, here's my idea, all right? The whole Dragon Ball saga, imagine that we are the four of us, right? We're at a table. And we have a friend of ours who was homeschooled and didn't have a television.
Oh, God.
Was subjected to torture, like constructive fun outside and arts and crafts and stuff. But was denied the pleasure of watching the entire Dragon Ball saga. And we are tasked with explaining exactly what it was about and exactly what happened. But our friend is really pedantic, so... we won't. So it's not enough for us to be like, oh, it's about this fucking monkey dude and how he fights a lot of people and he goes in space and there's a robot that a guy fucks at one point.
Yeah, what's up? Well, no,
can't wait for that part.
Yeah, we got a while to go for that, but I'm pretty sure Stuntman has debunked that myth slightly.
I'm pretty sure they fucked Stuntman, but I can't wait for us to talk.
No, it's not a question of whether they fucked or not. It's whether she was a robot or she was an android.
Issue with that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Stuntman has the unique knowledge of Japanese translations, because from what I understand, you watched a lot of like the dubbed episodes, correct?
Oh yeah, I watched it all the way through when it was in the original run on U.S. television on Cartoon Network.
Oh yeah, that's
in English, but I don't think I ever ended up finishing it, the Majin Buu saga, on Cartoon Network. But then I went ahead and I bought all the DVDs, and then I watched them all in the original Japanese dub. So,
God, I wonder. That's like crazy. I literally cannot. I think it would mess with me seeing any of the Dragon Ball characters in voices that aren't the weird English voices that they used.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it definitely was it's like an acquired taste.
Yeah,
you get used to it.
It's wild too, because the audio quality is so shitty on those like Japanese versions, where it just sounds like it's recorded underwater.
It really does. Yeah, it's very muffled.
By like 13-year-old girls, like it sounds ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, that's an interesting thing. I remember being at an anime convention when I was a teen, and yeah, scouring the place for Final Fantasy related memorabilia. But that they had a TV on, and they were promoting that they had VHS, bootleg VHS of like Dragon Ball GT, and I saw one episode of it, and I was like, this looks insane.
Yeah.
And of course the audio I recall being super tinny and awful.
I remember thinking Dragon Ball GT was going to be like the coolest thing.
Yeah, it was like
so
mythical.
let down. Such a
It's
bummer.
the last one, so clearly it's the best.
Yeah, and like I was at that age where like the only thing cooler than like a Super Saiyan would be an even higher number of Super Saiyan. Like regardless if he looked anything like the ones before, or like if he grew a tail back, or like anything. I don't know. It just seems so deeply important to me at the time. I remember I had a notebook in middle school with like a couple friends. Somehow one of them was a girl. I don't know how we managed to get a girl to be part of this thing, but we would like pass it around in between classes about what we thought about the previous night's episode.
Oh man,
yeah. And I remember like agony, like all of us just like wondering how long. Like remember how long it took for him to charge up the spirit bomb? It was like
well, yeah. I think there's gonna be. We'll have to dedicate like an hour plus to dissecting why they tortured us with the spirit bomb that charged for 20 episodes long.
Yeah, we should also make a rule.
Engaged.
Yeah,
so
it was
engaged
insane.
in it.
Yeah, it was so weird. It was like by no right should anybody like watch that and be entertained, and yet at the same time like probably 3 straight episodes of just watching Goku like hold his hands up in the air, and I was like so enthralled.
So that's the kind of detail. So okay, so our pedantic friend is gonna say, you know, we'll describe it in broad strokes, and they'll say, no, wait, I didn't get to see this. I want you to tell me literally everything that happened. So what I'd love for us to do is start episode 1 of Dragon Ball.
Oh yeah.
First time we see this person. All right. You know, maybe. So I think we've kind of already talked a little bit about what our general impressions of the show was. I mean, in retrospect, I don't have. I guess I have kind of. I don't know how I feel about Dragon Ball.
Did you guys all watch Dragon Ball Z before you watched Dragon Ball?
Okay.
I
think we all did that, right? Yeah.
I actually might have watched Dragon Ball before DragonAll Z.
Really, I cannot claim that. I definitely did not.
You know, when I was really young, maybe 5 or 6, there was an international channel, and I believe there were a few episodes here and there that I caught that were, I believe, English dubbed, but they weren't Funimation or the Ocean dub. It was a really rough dub, and I remember not being into it at the time, but I do remember Emperor Pilaf's castle and certain things from early on in the series.
The name Emperor Pilaf sounds familiar, but I can't recall what he was all about. We'll get to that.
He was also in
what a guy.
Do you remember like I think it was like President's Day, they would play like the same 3 Dragon Ball GT or Z like movies, and like
Pilaf was one of those
movies. Yeah.
Oh
he came back and was like one of the villains.
And they were like they were slightly higher quality animation too. Like the and wasn't one of them, so there was Frieza, and then they called him Cooler.
Oh my god, it's his brother.
Cooler was the Frieza's brother,
yeah.
It's like they aggressively hate us, and then like, you're an idiot.
Well, apparently,
I can't
Frieza has a son named Frieza now.
Give me a break. Give me a break.
I was just checking out the wiki, and yeah.
Is that in the new show?
I think it was from like a one-off, like like a new manga or something.
Frieza, you say?
Like Kuriza, yeah.
Oh, that is not. It's not very good. It's
Let's not forget.
That's
Let's
like
not forget
that.
the dad, King Cold.
Oh, yeah,
King
yeah, their
Cole.
entire family was unfortunately named. Actually, no, Frieza's a very cool name. That's the problem. right?
Frieza worked.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's because
But it
Frieza
was-
was like undoubtedly scary.
But it was also like spelled differently. It wasn't just straight up like cooler or cold. Like,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we're going way off
That's like-
topic again. But
That's like, do you guys know that story that there was some LucasArts team that was working on a Star Wars video game, and they wanted to have one of the bad guys be a Darth, but they needed like Lucas's.
oh yes, I love this story.
And they were like,
Oh,
they were
yeah.
like, what should we call this dude? And he's like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you could call him a Darth, maybe something like Darth Insanius.
Yeah, Darth Insanius and Darth Icky, I believe.
Darth Icky.
Yeah, both like pretty. Yeah, and then like I guess
Yeah.
I don't know who. Maybe somebody wrote about that on the board or something. But if I remember,
I think that's where I heard it.
If I remember, like there was like a noticeable pause in which like everybody in the room was kind of waiting to see if he was just gonna like crack a smile, like that was a joke.
Yeah.
It just like never happened. It's like, oh shit, this is the
They're like,
person
yeah,
we're
let's
dealing
table
with.
that idea. Yeah.
Well, this is the guy who called the Elaine Sleaze Pagano too, right? The guy who like sells the death
Yeah,
sticks.
Sleaze Pagano.
Yeah, he didn't really try. Well, we just hit a whole 10 viewers, guys. We're officially
Nice,
at the 10
nice.
viewer
Wow,
mark.
we're racking it up.
Thanks for joining us, folks.
All right, so I
That's
have an
a
idea.
fucking
I have an
models.
idea. Here's what I would love us to do. I'd love us to go around, and if somebody was like, describe Dragon Ball, the Dragon Ball saga, in a single sentence, before we jump into the chronological appreciation of this fucking train wreck that we all watched. Let's all. Can we do that? Can we do Stuntman? Can you start us out since you're the expert here?
Well, I am by no means an expert, but
You're the
I'm
expert
gonna give it a
here.
shot. So, essentially, what we're dealing with is a very, very loose adaptation of Journey to the West.
Okay.
Oh,
We
good
have
soul.
That's a good
the
answer.
Yeah, it is.
Boy Monkey King, and you have analogs for other characters, but you have a boy with a monkey tail who's imbued with super strength, and he's living on his own, and he has a mystical item called a Dragon Ball.
Mhm.
And he doesn't really know what this item does, but it was left to him by his late grandfather, whom he was raised by. And so, as the series progresses, he meets more and more unusual characters, and they are, for one reason or another, seeking to gather these Dragon Balls. When they're gathered, will summon a dragon who will grant one wish.
And what a wish it was.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but Journey to the West is actually a Chinese tale, right? Not
That's
Japanese.
correct.
It is, yeah.
That's right. That's right. And yet, I guess nothing.
Jug, is she there? We got a little bit of
In
a.
every anime.
You're oh, okay, cool. There you are. I had your screen paused for a second. For me,
Oh.
man, wow, that's a tough follow. I find like in its base sense, what Dragon Ball was really about. Goku is just like a perfect innocent being, which I think is really interesting, and that's like it takes like a different direction in Dragon Ball Z, but that's like the main focus with when it comes. Goku is introduced at the very beginning as a young boy who's lived in like basically complete isolation. Other than the only things he's learned about the world is he's been taught by his grandfather in this like exceptionally small house, and it's not even really identified where like they're on Earth, but like where. They're all fictional places.
Oh yeah, and it all looks bizarre. There's all
There's
these
dinosaurs. Yeah, like there's huge dinosaurs, giant creatures. I think that's what makes it so endearing right from the get-go. That's like one thing too, because when I was a little kid, I saw Dragon Ball Z first, like we discussed, and I thought it was like weird that Gohan had a tail. Like I didn't understand that from the get-go, and then so I watched Dragon Ball as an adult first,
Yeah.
and then so it just didn't seem weird to me. But I wonder if that would have been weird to me as a kid.
I mean, there's a lot of things that people in this world take as totally normal ass shit. Like people
that's true.
give people give Goku crap for having like a monkey tail when there's a fucking literally green person.
Yeah, they got no problem with that.
In like a tournament, and they're like, no, that guy's regular.
Oh, what's up, Nefarious?
And nobody is fazed by like a talking turtle.
Yeah, they're like, oh yes, that turtle is talking to me, like normal turtles.
He's looking for the ocean.
Yeah. What's like? So there are tons of animals in the Dragon Ball universe that are like, have like the whole like goofy Pluto thing. Because like in the Red Ribbon Army, there's like tigers who are humanoid, and things like that, and yet they're like fish. Oh, dude, fish always get the short end of the stick in every animation.
Oh yeah, dude. Nobody respects fish.
Not even vegetarians. Vegetarians eat fish. It's bullshit.
Think about it. It's like in Pokemon, they've got Magikarp, and it's just like, fuck this animal.
Yeah, he doesn't even say his name. He's like the one Pokemon who doesn't even say his name, right?
It's like, this thing's pathetic. Pikachu's got character. Magikarp, on the other hand, is a splashing nincompoop.
Did they ever explain why Meowth can speak English and no other Pokemon can?
They did. But I remember that the explanation was super dumb. Okay. So, whatever.
Man, it must have been pretty dumb if it stuck out as dumb to you at that age.
Yeah, profoundly dumb in the context of the animated television show Pokemon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so yeah, back to what I was trying to say. I guess Dragon Ball in its base sense is about a completely pure being using an outrageous power to, like, fight for good. I guess.
Yeah, he's like Superman, basically.
Yeah, he's Superman, but yeah, and completely uncorruptible, which is really... Yeah. Which is something they don't really get into because he's influenced by all these people who are like objectively shitty in some ways. Like each one of his close confidants from the very beginning are all like good overall, I would say, but definitely have like clear flaws. Like we could talk about Master Roshi for like 5 hours, right?
He loves to fuck.
Yeah, he seriously does. Well, he loves like he likes to
concept of fuck. I don't know if he ever does fuck.
But it makes it seem like he fucked quite a bit in his early days, but I kind of call bullshit on that because he had like a very severe martial arts master from an early age.
Yeah, he had a severe martial arts master, and he lived on a fucking island with his turtle. He might have fucked his turtle plenty.
Yeah,
but
that's true. Well, the turtle is pretty smart, and I don't know if the turtle is...
Yeah, he's probably too wily for that shit.
Yeah, and they never, and like, remember Launch? Like, Launch just like comes and starts like living at their house, and she just like cooks for him all the time, and then...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that's like, Launch is a truly weird character that kind of gets like, I was always kind of annoyed that Launch didn't make it into DBZ after the fact. Like, I didn't know about her before, obviously, but like in hindsight, I'm like, oh, that's weird. Like, she was totally like a big part of the show, and she's the only one who doesn't come through.
Well, they end up with like, just too many characters, right? They people it with so many, like, friends along the way.
Yeah,
and then there's... Launch?
Yeah.
Launch actually does make a few appearances in Dragon Ball Z toward the beginning.
This is what we've got Stuntman around.
Absolutely.
But you know, in the Cartoon Network, when it was aired on Cartoon Network, it was left out because you know there was no Dragon Ball dub in English before it came out. You know, before DBZ came out, and so U.S. audiences were unfamiliar with the character, so they just thought it would be easier to just cut her scenes out.
Was
Dragon Ball Z, make sense.
Was Dragon Ball Z just like far more successful in Japan? Like, why did Dragon Ball Z become the one that took off first in America?
I can't really answer that. If I had to guess, I would say definitely, but
yeah,
it's a very different type of show.
There's a lot of me that enjoys Dragon Ball more.
I don't think that they thought U.S. audiences would appreciate the type of show that the Dragon Ball... You know, this is before the anime craze kind of took hold in the U.S., so...
I have a guess on that. Like, you know, watching Dragon Ball as like an adult, like, it's incredibly, like, pervy and, like, just weird. Like, I understand that it's probably for kids, but, like, a lot of it isn't, and it's really, like, just fucking weird. But,
yeah, Goku is
I don't
so
think, like,
horny.
Oh, yeah. Well,
like it's like watching that, but like Dragon Ball Z was more like that kind of like teen-oriented thing.
Yeah.
But like I don't really understand like the target audience for Dragon Ball.
It's hard to say because it's like there's a lot of innocence involved, and I think they do it like, which is weird because like Goku spends like the first, I don't know, the half of the first season like touching people in the crotch to see whether they're females or males, which is like so funny. Like as a kid, that like cracked the shit. Like,
that's like the funniest thing.
Yeah, it was so weird because like that relationship with him and Bulma is so bizarre. Like right from the like in the first episode, Bulma is like offers to show Goku her ass in order for Goku to give her the Dragon Ball. Like that's the trade. Or like Goku obviously
Good
being
trade.
like, yeah, dude, if you and I are in that situation, I think we make that trade. But Goku, because he's raised by his grandfather who only teaches him martial, he's never seen a girl before, so he has like these.
Yeah.
He didn't have like any sexual drive, which like he shouldn't because he's a little boy, and that would have got really weird. But they managed to like have creepy stuff happen to him, with it not be that over the top creepy. Or I don't know, maybe I'm just like being nostalgic. I look back on it now, it definitely seems weird.
Yeah, I feel like there's a huge trope in I don't know, it's like hyper sex but ashamed of it. That's like such a common theme in like a lot of the shows that were on Toonami. Like, what was that one where that guy is a simple farmer, and all of a sudden he's surrounded by these hot space babes who just want to fuck him. Tenchi Muyo. And he's like, oh no, all these naked women everywhere. And, you know, the whole show is like one big, like, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Like, hey, right, buddy?
Yeah, right.
Like,
I feel like there was a time where all those harem anime were really prevalent.
Totally.
It's a weird time to be going through puberty.
Yeah. I remember, like,
I was taken off.
Yeah. I picked up like some random manga I remember as a kid. I don't even remember the names of them, but ones that were like relatively popular, and you read them and like half of them are like one guy living alone in a house with 73 different horny women.
It's just living the dream, man. That's the life. Which is something obviously like, we could all relate to.
Women.
Yeah, it is. It's just extremely relatable content, you know. Like, it's kind of, it's how we all grew up.
Yeah, exactly. People just want to see images of their childhood depicted on screen. All right, so let's say, okay, our extremely pedantic friend is now like, okay, so tell me how the first episode of Dragon Ball opens up.
Okay.
Now, in my memory, we have. I feel like it opens up with Bulma. I feel like Bulma is the person that we're introduced even before Goku, because it isn't Goku introduced to us maybe later in the first episode. Like,
if I remember correctly, and as I'm saying this, I can't see it right now. I'm only looking at my main screen, but I have in like the top right of the thing, I have the first episode playing on silent. So
perfect.
For like context of what we're saying. But if I remember correctly, it starts out with like landscape shots, and there's like a narrator who's like explaining. Vaguely, like the legend, or like Goku's like how Goku came about. But but I think you're right though. I think the first thing, like the first person we encounter, is Bulma driving in a car. I think Bulma's. I don't know.
Oh, well, I think like the first couple are kind of like engraved in my mind a little heavier, because I remember like watching Dragon Ball Z and then going back and like finding Dragon Ball, and I remember renting it at a Blockbuster in VHS, and it had 3 episodes on it, so I watched those like a handful of times. So I remember those, and like when I rewatched it, like I remembered it. But I think it opens with like Goku talking to the Dragon Ball, because he like literally thinks it's his grandfather.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's like glowing because it's responding to the Dragon Balls that Bulma has nearby.
Oh right, yeah, because she's approaching the area.
Back the truck up a second. So Goku's grandfather is dead.
Yeah.
How long has he been chilling out by himself, this child?
It doesn't they don't like exactly define when it happens, and you don't learn this in the first episode, or really in the first couple episodes. I don't remember exactly when you do. I think it's when they finally meet Mr. Roshi, but it's implied that Goku kills his grandfather accidentally.
What?
Yeah, he did it when
he transforms into the ape.
Yeah.
So like,
it's during his first transformation in front of I believe it's Bulma and Yamcha, when they're trapped in that room in Pilaf's castle.
Right.
And, he sees the moon through the sunroof, and so
he turns into the monster.
But before he transforms, he sort of tells a tale of how his grandfather was murdered by a were-monkey or something.
A monster,
fuck?
Yeah, it's like a monster that he doesn't remember.
So
he's not quite aware that he is the monster.
Yeah.
So
they foreshadow it pretty decently, if I remember though. Yeah.
Well, from what I remember, like when they transform, they don't remember anything during the transformation.
Yeah.
I think Gohan does it a bunch, like in the early episodes of Dragon Ball Z as well.
And then what's his name? Yajirobe cuts off his tail.
Fuck
Yeah.
Yajirobe was so badass in Dragon Ball, and they made
like
him
3 tails.
so dumb. And well, no, he was still kind of cool in DBZ, but he was way cooler in Dragon Ball. Like he actually did like I mean, granted, cutting off that tail was legit in DBZ, but like he who's that? He kills one of Piccolo's dudes in Dragon Ball.
Oh,
Tambourine?
Drum, I
or
think.
Drum? Yeah,
Yeah, Tambourine or
yeah. Who he kills the guy who kills Krillin. That's who he kills, right? Or like
right.
yeah.
So okay, so wait, I just want a little more clarity on this.
Okay, yeah, you're right. We're getting out of hand.
Now, so he murdered his own grandfather.
Murdered is a strong word.
In
accidental manslaughter.
Yeah.
In a fugue of rage.
Manslaughter is what it is.
Yeah.
All right, he turns into an incorrigible, murderous monkey beast.
Okay.
Murders his own grandfather. At any point during the series, does Goku realize that he killed his own grandfather? Follow-up question: Is he literally devastated with PTSD?
I don't think they ever like tell him. I think like they discover that, like as Stuntman said in that episode, they realize that because like Master Roshi has talked about it, and I think Goku has like alluded to it. They realize that Goku is the monster, but I don't think because like Goku's naive and Goku's like harmless and like he's innocent. I think they just like choose to not tell him.
He doesn't make the connection until Vegeta transforms.
That's right.
And he says he makes the connection then, realizing that Saiyans, when Vegeta's, doing his exposition about how Saiyans transform with their Blutz waves or whatever the explanation they give in Dragon Ball Z.
Kakarot. And he just lectures him before he's like gonna kill everybody. Yeah. That's the best part about DBZ bad guys. Very, very verbose.
Yeah, you gotta eat up those minutes.
Well, yeah, too, yeah.
Oh wait, that's another Superman parallel. Not only is he from another planet, not only is he incorruptible, not only is he, is he basically, invulnerable.
He has one weakness, much like Superman.
He has one weakness, much like Superman, and also he has a completely different. He has his birth name and then his adopted name.
Oh yeah, well, yeah, there are a lot of parallels.
There are a lot of parallels.
Have you seen that like awful? There's like this epic rap battles of history, which is like a terrible thing on the internet anyway. I don't remember how I saw this, but there's like a Goku versus Superman rap battle, and it's like...
Oh my gosh. It gives me great pleasure to announce that I have not seen that.
Yeah, good for you. I mean, I apologize for making you aware that it exists, and hopefully you don't fall.
The less I know, the better.
Just take my word for it that it's really bad.
I'm gonna have to. All right, so here we are, where it's the
Dragon Balls are glowing.
The Dragon Ball is a glowing, and Goku's talking to his grandfather that he murdered in cold blood.
Yeah, which is actually just a Dragon Ball because his Dragon
Ball
isn't dead. Yeah.
So Goku's an idiot.
Yeah, well, yeah, but it's not his fault.
He's a total idiot though. Like he doesn't know like what machines are or people. Like he didn't know that Bulma was a person.
Well, he's not dumb. He's just like he was isolated, right? Because he'd never seen a woman before. And like he had never, and his grandfather was like this old martial arts guy, so he didn't teach him like the ways of like the socialized world.
I think
he seems pretty shitty at drawing inferences too, though.
So you're saying that his grandfather is just a terrible human being?
No,
I think this guy, like a lot of people think that they can homeschool, but very few people can really do the job that's needed.
Yeah, he missed out like a lot of crucial subjects when it came to just like general social behavior.
Yeah, like that whole section on not grabbing people's crotches.
Yeah, right. Yeah, definitely. He left that out. Because he eventually meets his grandfather in Dragon Ball. Because his Dragon Ball is like a ghost for Fortune Teller Baba, right? Like and his grandfather like kicks the shit out of him, which is also truly weird.
Duh! He's like, you fucking murdered me.
Yeah, true. Good point. I don't remember where I was going with that.
Like, I don't care, like, alright, I don't have any kids yet. Okay. Let alone grandchildren.
Okay.
I would assume that I would love my grandchildren. But if any one of those fuckers murdered me...
Yeah.
I would be livid.
Yeah, and you're a grandparent, so you kind of have that, like, generational buffer where, like, you can hit your kid, you're a grandparent. Like, what are they going to do? You're an old
like, if I was a grandparent right now, and, like, my grandparents, like, murdered me, I'd be like, fucking millennials!
Yeah, right, seriously. It's probably because of the cell phone.
With your cell
Yeah,
phone.
the cell phone did it.
Well, it'd be like the equivalent of like texting and driving and hitting, accidentally doing it while you're not aware of what's going on around you.
You're just like, this is what the millennials do these days, huh?
It
What are
is.
their grandparents?
All right, so Dragon Balls are glowing.
Dragon Ball's
Bulma
gone.
is
Okay.
approaching in a car, and
Right.
and
Yeah.
and Goku sees it, and like I don't remember the circumstances, but
What kind of car are we talking about here?
No. I think Goku went out like hunting because he's carrying that giant fish bag.
That's
and I
right,
think-
yeah.
I
Oh,
think
yeah.
the car hits the fish, and then Goku thinks that the car is another monster
Yeah,
and like
that's right.
lifts it over his head.
Yeah, he
and,
begins to fight the car, which
Like,
Bulma is
meanwhile,
driving.
The car is kind of like a beetle, right?
Yeah, it's Beetle-esque. It's red.
It's Beetle-esque? Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's right.
Now, the giant fish thing, was that a trope just in Dragon Ball Z, or is that like an anime thing? I feel like I have this image of people always catching giant fish, and also they're like eating it in one thing. Or I could be conflating the show Top Cat with this. Like, you put it in his mouth, it goes, and it's like a bunch of bones.
Yeah, classic.
I know that's a trope within Dragon Ball.
It is. It's a Dragon Ball thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
I don't know about anything else other than Dragon Ball.
All right. So fish, car, flip.
Yeah, and then they have that's like Goku learns like more about the world in like a 10-minute conversation with Bulma that he's learned from his grandfather for however long they were together apparently. Because she's like, I'm a girl.
I'm glad he's dead.
Yeah, well, yeah, so am I actually, because man, that show would not have progressed if that hadn't happened, right?
Yeah, but it would have been a pretty shitty show if they were
Never
just
would've
like
met Mr.
the
Roshi.
legend of Grandpa and his idiot kid.
Yeah, I really don't think it's fair. I've long believed that Goku's reputation as being dumb was unfair.
Yeah, well, I think we'll get into it.
Yeah.
So, is this the moment where he grabs Bulma's crotch, or is that later?
No, that's later. It's in that episode, but
that's
it's
after
later
the
on.
bath. I
Yeah.
think.
After there's a bath.
There's a bath. Yeah.
Well,
So it's
Bulma
getting hornier and hornier.
I don't remember Bulma, like, they can't leave, or like she won't leave for some reason. He like brings her back to the place to show the Dragon Ball, but then she just starts whipping out the capsules, right? Because she drops a capsule that's like a house. And,
yeah, fucking Capsule Corp.
yeah, Bulma's a trillionaire. Like,
Should we explain Capsule Corp for the
I think
fans
we
back
should.
home?
Yeah.
Okay.
Capsule Corp's important. That really is
All
like,
right.
yeah. You take it away. Let's see, because
Well, who can explain Capsule Corp? Because I'm gonna sit this one out.
All right, so basically, essentially, Capsule Corp is this massive corporation. It's located in whatever central city or whatever, however they name their cities in this
Yeah, trying
version
to
of
remember. I
Earth.
can't pull it into the city.
And
Midgar.
and the CEO and primary inventor for this company his name is Dr. Briefs, and his whole family, their names are a play on undergarments. And he has a daughter who's a genius inventor whose name is Bulma, who we've been talking about. Her name is actually a play on bloomers.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I never knew that.
I was about to ask,
Yeah.
actually.
What is Bulma's mom's name again? I forget. her
I
mom.
think it's just Mrs. Briefs.
Yeah, I
to
don't
be
know that they
honest.
ever
Weak.
identify her first name.
We just gave up.
I could be wrong.
She loves Goku.
But basically, this corporation, they specialize in these tiny capsules that they fit in a little case that can fit in your pocket.
Yeah, it's like
And
a
so-
cigarette case.
Yeah, that's right. And anytime you press a little button on these capsules, they expand into vehicles. They expand into homes.
Giant
into
water
planes.
supplies, right?
And pretty much anything. They got the market cornered on shrinking things down and putting them in a
Yeah,
little
Pokeballs,
tiny
they got
pill.
shit on them.
No, the capsules are like truly incredible inventions. If those were real, that would-
that'd be the shit.
you could put like the Empire State Building in a capsule. And, like,
So
take
there's
it to
this one-
Japan.
There's a point in the series where we'll get to this eventually, but there's a fighter in one of the tournaments who's fighting for the prize money to buy enough water to save his village from a drought.
Yep.
And eventually he learns that he can just use one of these capsules, as a reservoir for massive amounts of water to just take back to him, take back to his village.
Mr. Roshi hooked him up with that one. Master Roshi.
Nice.
Master Roshi, yeah.
Roshi coming through in the clutch.
Just as a quick aside, I googled who Bulma's mom was, and her name is Panchi, which is a pun on Panchi.
Perfect.
Panchi Briefs.
Yep.
Yeah, I think Trunks has the best name with the Briefs pun. Trunks Briefs is really good.
Oh yeah, the Trunks. Oh man, we're gonna have a whole topic on Trunks because I got thoughts on Trunks.
Oh yeah, you were a Trunks fan if I remember correctly. Right?
I am a Trunks fan, definitely.
Yeah.
Shout out to Blue Moon here. She's absolutely right on Trunks being the best character because Trunks, look, like Slap.
He's gone through some shit.
Homeboy has seen some shit, and also slap like a yin yang on this guy. Start playing the Friends theme, and you have literally the '90s. Like he's like an angsty dude in like a jean jacket with blue hair.
Yeah.
Like.
Oh yeah, he's a '90s cool teen.
Why does he have a sword?
Yeah, he's a cool teen. He carries a sword. The fuck's the sword for?
Yeah, the sword is so irrelevant. I know. I never understood that.
I don't care.
The sword breaks within like 3 fights.
Yeah. He's like, why are you carrying that?
Because it looks.
I'm not mad about it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not mad about it.
It looked cool when he cut Frieza in half, I guess.
Yeah, that's right. That's really what it is. Okay, like looking cool is worth a whole lot.
Let's see if I can DBZ up my hair right now.
There you go. Oh yeah, I can probably just say I got a tie here. That was okay. Wait, you mentioned earlier buying a VHS. Yeah, I had a VHS. I remember we were gonna have to wait like a year to see what was happening after the Frieza saga on like Toonami, and I was like, fuck that. And so I bought a VHS of like the next few episodes, and they were like the ones where Trunks came, and like Frieza like comes back, and Trunks just like fuck that shit and cuts him in half. And me and my brother were like literally screaming. I think. No.
Yeah. Well, because it was such a big deal to like. Because remember how long I remember thinking Goku would, even though because like I had a computer, I saw all these images of like what was to come. It just felt like it took so long for Goku to turn into a Super Saiyan. It was like such a big deal. And then like they're like, hey look, Trunks is one too. You're like, what?
Oh, I know, yeah. It was like they really upped the ante there. But that also began like the whole process. And again, we're getting too far ahead. But that did begin like the whole process of like what was just an obscene escalation of the power levels. You know?
Somebody made a point that like quantifying the power levels was like the worst decision they ever made.
Yeah,
and it was true in a lot of ways.
They gave that up pretty quickly, though. I feel like.
I think they got back into it, and it just doesn't. I mean, you would expect their power levels to be up in the billions by the Majin Buu saga, but I think they're by Dragon Ball Super. I watched a few episodes, and I think they brought it back.
Yeah, I don't remember it happening much.
That's
after,
right.
Like,
there's a series beyond GT, isn't there?
Yeah, it got released. It's halfway into its second season in Japan. It hasn't been dubbed in English yet.
Tap dancing Christ.
It's not terrible. I saw like the first 3 episodes dubbed, and like they weren't awful.
Should we perform a fan dub?
Oh, that could be really cool.
Yeah,
that's the project.
I thought you were gonna suggest like just Mystery Science Theater it, but like that is an even better idea.
No, yeah. We take it and we each are assigned voices, and we have to read it.
And use like a really high-pitched Piccolo voice.
Yeah.
So make him very British.
No, it would be great. We could just take people from the board, right? Everyone gets a character. It's like the new Shakespeare series.
Oh, wow.
Only it's Dragon Ball. You have a role and you have to read it, and then we release it on the internet, and we tell people it's the new official dub, and it just came out.
That would be diabolical. It's been a lot of fun.
I just want to point out that we're like 45 minutes into like we're halfway through episode 1, and we're talking about like dubbing a series that is not out in America.
I think we've actually like covered approximately 6 minutes of the first episode.
I was gonna say half might be quite the stretch. But yeah, all right. Well, why don't we try to come back to that then for a minute? We'll so let's talk about what happens after, because I can't wait to hear about the bath scene here. So we flip the car. Bulma and Goku have their fateful first encounter. Whereupon, as we've covered, Goku learned more in 10 minutes than anything that his idiot, worthless piece of shit grandfather ever taught him.
Yeah, he has the opportunity to see some sweet Bulma butt. And let's be honest, Bulma's pretty hot. Like,
she's a cartoon babe.
Yeah. But Goku is interested in one thing, and that's fighting. That's what we learned.
Yeah, he loves to fight.
We didn't know that. I don't think we know that yet. He's not
No,
interested in her butt at all.
He doesn't seem to have any like goals or like, because all he does is just like wake up, like go hunt things and eat it, and then, and then that's it.
He likes to interact, train.
Extremely same.
It's cool though. I've always I'm jealous of individuals who have that sort of focus. They know what they want.
So do we have any idea chronologically what happens after he flips the car and has his encounter with Bulma?
They go back to his house.
Yeah, because
brings her back to his place.
Yeah, because Bulma like wants the Dragon Ball, and you know she's like, oh, it's close by. I've got it, because she has the radar at that point.
Oh, right.
And
she's
they go
like,
back, and then he's like talking to the ball, like, this is my grandpa, and she's like, oh, that's the thing I'm looking for. There are more of them, and then they decide to like go off and like look for other ones because.
Right.
I think she tells him there that like she wants all of them because you can make a wish once you collect all of them.
Does she have a wish in mind?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, she does, and it is amazing.
Wants the perfect boyfriend.
She wants a boyfriend, just a boyfriend.
Exactly.
Yeah. Bulma, arguable trillionaire who's like 16 and totally hot and a genius, can't lock down a boyfriend.
I have a question.
Because the internet doesn't exist yet. Yeah. Like she can't make it.
Was this show? This question has occurred to me. Was this show written and created by a man?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Wow. Okay. It's surprising. I'm surprised.
It's shocking, right?
Yeah. Just something about that Bulma arrangement.
Yeah,
it didn't seem
so
like
Bulma is on a quest to collect 7 magical stones that are scattered throughout the entirety of the globe.
Because she just
because she wants a boyfriend, and she just can't. There are no single guys in Manhattan,
No.
Nice
and wouldn't it be such a better world if literally anyone would date Bulma? If only there was some nice guy out of there who, if she just gave him a chance.
Turns out we're gonna meet that guy soon.
We're gonna meet him.
Yeah.
We're gonna meet. Wait a second. I don't remember who.
Oh, come on.
You gotta know. It's like
I gotta know who Bulma ends up with.
Throughout like the entire series.
Oh, fucking Vegeta, right?
Oh,
no.
eventually,
well,
yes.
No.
Yeah.
Before that.
But her Dragon Ball boyfriend she meets in the first season of Dragon Ball.
Oh yeah. What's his name? It's Chaozu's buddy. No.
Yeah.
Oh
well, no.
No, not that, because that's Tien.
Yeah.
Yamcha?
Yamcha.
Yeah,
Yamcha. Yeah. Okay, yeah. I forgot about that dude. And he's like kind of a bad guy, isn't he?
He's a desert bandit.
Yeah, he's like a desert bandit.
An interesting thing about Dragon Ball is that most of Goku's allies start out as rivals or mild antagonists.
Yeah.
Because he fights Chao Yu in the tournament, doesn't he?
He fights like all of them.
Yeah.
If you go
from
through
Krillin
series, like
to Tien.
Were like mortal enemies at one point.
That's how I made most of my friends.
That's true. Yeah, likewise.
Yeah,
Just
you meet somebody. You meet somebody. You engage in combat.
That kind of carries on into Dragon Ball Z too. We had Vegeta, who starts off as
an
antagonist, and then
Mr.
sort of goes
Satan,
through the phase of an anti-hero.
Yeah, it really happens the whole way through, huh?
Yeah,
that's kind of crazy.
Wait. What was Mr. Satan's like the Japanese name for somebody, right?
Hercule.
Oh yeah, Hercule.
Big bag of wind. He's like Hulk Hogan.
Or fucking Hercule.
Yeah, that's like the people of Earth are extremely naive. It's really funny.
Yeah.
Like there's constantly like life and death stuff is happening all around them. And yet, for the most part, they remain like blissfully ignorant. I guess the Dragon Balls have something to do with that, but
I respect that. When like the androids show up, people seem. That's like the only time that I think you see like mass carnage. Like when you see a lot of people like on Earth legit concerned about their lives, but they start out more like interested in what's happening.
Yeah.
If I recall correctly, they're like, "Oh, check that out! That android just blew up my house."
So
there's a giant dragon in the sky.
Yeah, weird life. So back to Yamcha. I remember. So like all of us, I started watching Dragon Ball Z first, And so what I thought, Yamcha wears like the same outfit as Goku because like it's the Roshi outfit. So I was like, who's this like guy who looks like Goku who is just lamer? And that's kind of like what I thought.
Shitty Goku.
It's basically like what he exists as. Like they reference him as being like Bulma's ex-boyfriend and stuff in the show. And I'm like, who's this loser? Who, like every time somebody goes to kill Goku, like these guys just get stomped on, and like Goku, you know. And then you go back and Yamcha's actually kind of a badass.
He's a pretty good baseball player.
Yeah, he's a professional athlete. That's true. I forgot about that. Yamcha's really famous. I forgot about that. Yeah, Yamcha gets all these girls going after him, and Bulma gets real jealous. Yeah, Bulma, complicated woman.
I like the idea that they just keep him around, like he's at like family gatherings and their stuff. Like, who are you? You're like, oh, I'm just Bulma's ex-boyfriend.
Yeah, they just like live together towards the end. Like everybody kind of lives on the same street for the most part.
Yeah.
It's like every once in a while go to a cookout at Master Roshi's island. That's like 10 by 10 square feet.
You hook up with Bulma once, and you're like basically just in with the crowd.
Yeah, that's it. You get to chill at Capsule Port. She holds no hard feelings.
No hard feelings, no. They're just kind of like, yeah, you're kind of a loser, but it's okay.
Sorry, we've been through a lot.
Yeah.
Nobody really else has any money problems, any financial problems, but Yamcha is always complaining about he can't make his car payment, or it just seems like every time they show him, he's just, you know, down and out.
You know who complains about money a lot too is Chi-Chi, which I never understood because Chi-Chi's dad is like a literal king.
Yeah. How does this make sense? Yeah, okay, so we have... Bulma's a shit friend is what it sounds like, because we're talking about an actual trillionaire. And, okay, look, I know he's your ex, but you guys are cool. Like, you can't even just, like, give him a job so he can pay his fucking car payments.
Yeah, throw him a couple bucks, right?
For God's sake. He helps save the world, and he's got financial worries. This just doesn't seem right.
Yeah, they kind of, like... ride or die together for a while, but I guess that's where she draws the line. The briefs, I mean, they're very generous with their money in other ways. They seem to be like throwing parties all the time, and just like she just gives away capsules.
Cool.
And yeah, and like Dr. Briefs is always building like spaceships for everybody that everybody gets to use. But yeah, maybe we're gonna have to get some bank statements.
So we lost Stuntman. Did we?
Oh, I'm still here.
Oh, you're here. We lost Gray Fox.
It was unceremonious. I wonder what happened. I'm sure he'll return.
Anyway, yeah, so here's what happened. We go to Goku's house, and she tries to convince Goku to give him the Dragon Ball. This is a pretty important moment. This is a turning point, because at this point, this is the whole MacGuffin that gets the shit going.
Yeah, they enter into an agreement, if I remember correctly. She makes a deal with him, and I don't remember what the deal is. Do you remember, Stuntman?
Is it ass related?
You know,
well, that's the proposition.
I'm kind of relying on you guys here. I have really no recollection of anything that happens in the first few episodes.
So yeah,
he wants something, right?
Well, she wants him to be her bodyguard, like along the travels. And I don't remember what she uses as leverage to get him to agree to do it.
More fish, maybe?
Something like that. I don't know. She basically determines like the way that he beats the crap out of like the car and stuff, and like other things. She sees that he's like super strong.
Yeah. You know, I think what we didn't mention, or maybe we did, and I just don't remember. But she unloaded a full clip on him.
Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah, that's right.
So wait, so this is a pretty important point.
The very first time she meets this little boy, she just shoots him.
She hits him with her car and then shoots him.
So yeah, synopsis of episode 1. A trillionaire woman encounters a small child on the road and tries to murder him.
Yeah. About what point does she realize that he has a tail too? Because that happens, and she's like, "Oh, you have a tail." That's a terrible impression.
She probably pulls his pants down.
Washing himself.
This kid.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
He starts washing himself with a brush that he holds with his tail.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right.
You know, he loses his tail. Okay, wait, no. I don't remember him losing his tail. But Gohan loses his tail. And there doesn't seem to be any trauma or pain. But if this thing's prehensile, think about how hard that's like losing an arm.
Yeah, I never really understood. Well, the first time he loses it, he like struggles with his balance for a little while, which I thought was
understandable.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so like he has an issue with that. But yeah, eventually he seemed. And they don't really. I don't remember. He has his tail ripped off at least 2 times. In Dragon Ball, and then it just like grows back, and they don't explain it, but it grows back, which doesn't happen to Gohan, right? Like I don't remember Gohan's tail ever growing back.
something about
I'm back. I'm sorry.
being, say, a human hybrid or something was the explanation given.
I see. Welcome back.
Yeah, no, I remember Gohan's tail growing back because Piccolo pulls it off after he sees him transform when he's training him, and then it comes back later because he turns into the monkey when Vegeta's around.
Right.
Yeah, so I don't think there's a reason for it. I think it just like spontaneously comes back.
I'm gonna reiterate how deeply disturbing the idea of ripping someone's limb off is.
Oh yeah.
But didn't they say at some point that Goku's was like surgically removed as opposed to being pulled off?
Kami actually removed it, but they don't think they explained how exactly.
Is Kami a fucking surgeon though?
He's the guardian of Earth, so he definitely
trained this motherfucker in surgery.
Well, he gets to watch everybody from the lookout, so maybe he's like, he's got a lot of time to kill, so he's sat in a couple
watch everybody
bypasses or something like that. So
we all know what he's watching.
Yeah. Well, Piccolo, right?
Yeah, right.
His second self.
Yep. Do you think? Wait. Did Piccolo ever hook up with anybody? I feel like Piccolo and Kame are just like we're led to believe that the Namekians don't like to get ready.
Asexual.
They're asexual.
They're asexual.
Yeah, they they can like create Nameks on themselves by like osmosis, essentially. Like
I don't remember seeing any females on Namek. I don't think
there like are male or female Namekians.
Okay, we're gonna Google it.
Yeah.
Feed.
They essentially reproduce by vomiting eggs.
Yeah, they can burp up. They can burp up eggs that turn into other Nameks.
Clicking
or just split.
Oh, guys, boy, can I strong recommend Google image searching. I don't actually strong recommend this for what it's worth.
I mean, you definitely can see lots of fan art.
I don't want.
Oh yeah, that's pretty much what we're talking about here.
I don't want anyone.
Yeah. So anyway, I've at least confirmed that. Well, at least as far as my research
goes. Can you turn
goes.
your mic up a little bit? Is there? I don't know how to do that. You're like slightly quieter than the rest of us. I don't know why.
Is it a little bit better now?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you pretty well.
Yeah.
Well. All right. So, in the interest of not dragging this out, or B, not making my girlfriend wait for another hour for us to eat dinner. We should try to see if we can wrap up the description of the episode in the next 4 minutes.
Here's the problem. I remember how this episode starts. I have no idea what happens at the end. I don't remember.
They head off in the hero's journey.
Yeah,
I think it's just them leaving to go look for the Dragon Balls because I think the path and stuff is the next episode.
Okay, so basically the whole time is like is like in his house or like about to leave his house. Because she wants to cook dinner and like he like doesn't want to eat her food, so he runs out and he just like grabs like a giant animal and like eats it outside, and she's like, "Whoa, gross!"
Why is that like an anime trope that women are the young women in every anime is like terrible at cooking?
Yeah,
why is that a thing?
Yeah, she. Well, I don't remember exactly. She like either.
No, I think they're eating, but he doesn't like the food that she made. Like,
yeah, just because like he's used to eating like food that he cooks on his own from the wild, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't remember what she feeds him.
He gets like a giant centipede and like those giant fish and like wolves and stuff.
Yeah, I forget what the meal that she's trying to cook him initially. I guess I have it right here. I can pull.
Stomach, do you have any input on why that's such a thing? Women being terrible at cooking.
I think there are a lot of tropes that just exist to belittle women in shonen.
Yeah, why?
I think it's a relatable thing
that
they have, I guess. Yeah,
just the way it is.
It's good though. Because it's weird because like Bulma eventually, not like right from the get go, but Bulma becomes like one of the strongest characters throughout like the whole show arc, like both of them.
Yeah, definitely. Like in terms of
like long run, but the way it starts is like, I mean, I think somebody pointed Chi-Chi means boobs. You know what I mean? Like they don't really set the bar high.
I think it's separating it from any actually aimed at toddlers level programming. Dragon Ball the Dragon Ball Saga might be the most childish TV show ever created.
It's definitely sophomoric in a lot of ways, for sure, like no question.
The real question that we have is, how did she convince Goku to join her on this quest?
That's what I'm trying to remember.
I don't know. She basically just like kidnaps him like a child, and it's just like, all right, let's go. Like they just go looking for the balls. I don't think he has any sort of like real incentive, because I mean he doesn't want or need anything.
Somebody's gonna need to pull up a plot synopsis, because like I want to know exactly what the reason is.
Yeah, I just did it. Okay, list of Dragon Ball episodes. Let's look. Okay, the saga, the Emperor Pilaf saga, episode 1. She tells him about this whole idea. Oh my fucking god! This is like nothing. Bulma, already possessing 2 of the balls, decides to let Goku, quote, join her on a fun adventure.
That's it?
She's just like, want to join me on a fun... There's not even any, like, motivation from him other than, like, oh, this should be a fun adventure. You want to come? And he's like, yes.
Well, I guess he's bored. Like, what the hell is Goku doing now that his grandfather's dead? You know what I mean? As we said, he's just, like, doing pull-ups and eating huge fish. It's like...
He spends all day blasting his core and eating omega-3 fatty acids.
Yeah, we never really see... We see Goku naked actually kind of a lot. Like we
constantly.
You see Goku's dick all the time.
The first, like, 5
he sees dick and it's just like this, right? Whoop.
Yeah, he's got a little rounded little dick with the little
yeah, it's like, here are his legs. It goes like, all right, so it goes whoop whoop. That's his legs. And
it's just like whoop. 2 like U's, like one slightly smaller.
He doesn't have like what I would call a very impressive physique.
No, he's got to work on that.
What is he
you know, for all of the core blasting he's been doing, he's not getting the results he wants.
They establish his age, I think, in the second season. They establish his age when Krillin shows up. I know
he's like 6.
No, he's a little older than that.
He's 13.
I was going to ask
I was
about
going to say 11 or 12 or something like that. Definitely in that range, which was like older than I thought.
Yeah, it's way older.
But it explains his horniness.
Yeah.
Because in Dragon Ball, like Bulma looks like markedly older.
Oh
and,
yeah,
like,
she's
as the
much
series
older.
progresses, like she still looks like a child, like a teenager, while he's like older and adult with a family.
Yeah, he hits that like growth spurt thing that just happens like at the end of Dragon Ball, like the last season. He just shows up to the World Tournament and he's like adult Dragon Ball Z Goku. And you're like, whoa, when did that happen? And you're like, you're Goku.
So, yeah, there's kind of like that Phantom Menace to Attack of the Clones,
right?
Anakin Skywalker thing
in a short period of time.
Where like the relationship is creepy and uncomfortable because he's literally 3 feet taller, shorter than him. Yeah, and he's so mad at the Jedi. All right, so here we are. Our friend Goku is about to head off on his journey, a fun adventure. And Bulma is happy because she just got a bodyguard
and a Dragon Ball.
And a Dragon Ball.
Because that's the thing, he never agrees to give it to her, but like that's her plan, right?
Right.
It's like I'm gonna steal it off from her, like swindle it, or like I don't know.
She's scheming.
Yeah.
She's scheming.
She's tricky. She's a smart girl.
She's crafty, and so she didn't. So Goku doesn't have like a wish that he wants.
No.
He can bring back his grandfather. That to go back to something else, he brutally murdered in a fit of rage.
Goku eventually has like wish ideas, but like that he was never really like in it for the Dragon Balls at the beginning. Like he wanted one Dragon Ball.
Every wish they make is just to bring back someone that died like 4
episodes
earlier.
Yeah, it's like they're basically perpetually in like wish debt, like paying off things.
Well, that
he never gets to like use it
because the first season they don't have an enemy yet, right? They don't really have like a big enemy, so that's why.
That's true.
What happens is, what were you gonna say?
Oh, I was just gonna say, all the heroes' wishes revolve around bringing their friends back, and all of the antagonists' wishes revolve around
like
immortality.
Immortality.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, who are the people that wanted to be immortal? Pilaf.
Pilaf wanted to be the king of the world.
Yeah.
Which
he basically kind of was.
Well, in that Dragon Ball Z movie, Pilaf gets immortality, and then they like lock him in that like void, which always like disturbed me as a
Oh, that's fucked.
Oh,
he's alive forever, like by himself in a dark like place and can never leave. Like that like stuck with me as a child.
The dead zone. You're confusing Pilaf for Garlic Jr. Who's
yeah, you're right.
Kami's rival.
Still disturbing.
Yeah, but they're definitely inarguably.
Oh, is that other guy who suffered unceasing punishment for all eternity? Yeah.
Hey, you reap what you sow. Right?
Yeah. I guess.
Yeah, I don't think
It's very Catholic.
Oh, yeah, there's definitely like very much like extreme lessons.
Yeah.
There's no like, there really aren't many tweeners. Like Vegeta and Piccolo are like the two. I guess that's not true. We already discussed this. Like all of these people start off as kind of bad, but like Yamcha's not really bad. He's just like a dude who robs people in the desert because he's really poor. Like Tien Han's like a dickhead, but he
gotta
just
pay your carb payments.
Tien's a dick, but like he never kills anybody. He just like he injures people. That's like his thing, right? He's like maims his opponents, and then
that's what he does.
Yeah,
I remember
like,
he did Tri-Beam.
Yeah, that movie's sick. No, but Tien would like beat opponents and then humiliate them and like deliberately like injure them so they couldn't compete ever again. Like his like redemption arc is like he needs to beg forgiveness from a fighter that he basically cripples, and that guy has like a Dragon Ball or something. He has one, and Piccolo and Tien literally gets down on his knees and begs forgiveness, and like that's like when he is like fully turned into a good guy.
Nice, way to go, Tien.
Yeah, no, I didn't know this, but Stuntman I think said this in a thread. The voice actor, the English voice actor for Tien, or the Japanese, I don't know, one of them died.
Yeah, it was a Japanese voice actor.
He died, and so like they dialed down that character after that because Tien was the man. Like Tien was a badass.
You know, I should mention this because Gray Fox was saying that you know it's kind of weird hearing the voice actors that you would assume would be playing the part for a child go on to continue that role into the character's adulthood. And so I think that what that boils down to is that there's a lot of importance placed on you know, keeping the voice actors the same throughout a series or a show's run, because you have the same voice actor for Gohan, Goku, and Goten.
Yeah, they're all the same guy, right?
Yeah.
It's actually, I forget her name.
Oh, it's a girl.
Like,
chick, yeah.
She's like an 89-year-old woman.
Wow.
Really?
Still plays the part of Goku.
That's awesome.
But yeah, there's so much importance placed on it that I feel that there's almost, out of respect for the actor, they will retire the character.
Yeah.
It's a shame. I really liked Tien. Tien was like a really cool like character.
Yeah,
he had a lot of depth.
He was my favorite. Well, him and Chaozu. Chaozu was actually my favorite for some reason. I like that bizarre, terrifying clown child.
Yeah, what was Chaozu's deal though? Like, why?
I have no idea.
Yeah, he was human, but he wasn't. Like, he was a psychic. He was a telepath too, right?
Yeah, he could do some shit like that. It was weird.
ESP.
Yeah, he had ESP.
All I remember is him just latching onto people's backs and like trying to kill them, but just
trying to explode, and it was too powerful.
Always fucking up. He did kill one of the he had like
Saberman, right?
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. Okay, well, folks, I regret to announce that I've been summoned to dinner by my girlfriend.
That's probably a good time to wrap it up. Anyway.
Yep.
Let's do this next week.
Totally.
Yeah,
totally.
I think somebody should, and I'll volunteer, watch maybe the first season.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Just to
to have a guide through the darkness, as it were.
Right.
Because I think it's best if we because it's tough because that person has to sacrifice their speculative role.
That's fine.
But yeah, but someone's
I think
somebody
somebody won't have a problem bearing that cross. There needs to be there needs to be somebody to get you from A to B.
Yeah,
this is a cool idea though. I'm glad that you decided. I was like, what? It's always like I feel like stuff like this gets brought up in like passing, and everybody's like, yeah, sure, that'd be a great idea, and it's like forget it forever. But that's so easy. So.
Well, if you did happen to record it,
I did. I'm gonna export it to YouTube like basically immediately, and then I'll throw it into the
okay,
thread.
cool.
Yeah, it was a pleasure.
Thanks, guys. This is a blast. Looking forward to doing it again.
All right, have a good night.
All right, later, guys.
All right, thanks, guys.
Later.